Hello and welcome to another very special episode of me reviewing stuff. Drinks is what I'm doing tonight. So here's the thing: is I'm gonna kind of combine this episode. We're gonna call this episode the review for this newest one. You've got this Mountain Dew Hard LiveWire Zero Sugar. I went to the store to buy this. They didn't have a variety pack, which has like the small cans. So I just had to buy this like massive can. Normally I would not really purchase something like this in alcohol form because this is like, that's a lot. I mean, usually when I see cans like this in the store, I would not buy it. You know, you get like a beer can like that. That's like an alcoholic, tenant trait to buy, to pick up a big, like, what do they call these? Like 40s? Something like that. This is literally a pint. An entire pint of Mountain Dew LiveWire. That's brand new. But I'm going to combine this episode to review all of these. So if you just want the LiveWire one, just skip to the end. I'll do like chapters, and I'll mark it so you can just kind of go through the video and go to the end of the video. I'll probably put like a timestamp or something as well. But I did get the variety pack of these, so I have all these ones. This one's a watermelon. I don't know why they have a watermelon flavor, but they do. Okay, so we're just gonna start. This is kind of like different from the other ones I've been doing because these are alcoholic. I haven't done any alcoholic ones before. Obviously, don't consume this unless you're of drinking age, where you live. I don't even know if they sell these really outside of the U.S. I think Mountain Dew is huge in the U.S., but not so much everywhere else. I think like you can get it, but it's definitely not as like prevalent as far as I know. Like, that could have changed. I'm kind of basing that information on information from like when I was like way younger, like a teenager. I remember that's weird that they don't have Mountain Dew in like the U.K., but maybe they have it now. I don't know. So we'll just start with this one. So this one's just like normal Mountain Dew flavor. We're going to be kind of fancy about this. Okay, we got a wine glass. We're setting the mood. This is the After Dark episode. I don't want to like fill this too much because I only have one glass. So, I mean, you can smell the alcohol off rip. It's like, it's there. It's 5%, which is pretty normal. It's like the same amount you would get from like a White Claw. A lot of beers tend to have more alcohol percent unless you're talking about like a light beer. I think a Budweiser probably has like 5%, about, maybe a little more. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if they even say on the can how much percent like a Budweiser has. But like you go to like a microbrewery, you'd probably get, you get like an Imperial Stout that's like 9%. But I'm not here to inform you about alcohol. So let's try this. These are also zero sugar, which is definitely the first thing I noticed upon putting this in my mouth. Is that definitely tastes like no sugar. Sugar free. No sugar in there. I guess maybe there's some reason you can't really put sugar with alcohol. Is there a reason you can't put sugar and alcohol together? Because I always feel like with alcohol beverages, they're very often zero sugar, even though that seems like a weird choice. But I guess they can advertise it. It's kind of tricky. What I would say is, I mean, yeah, it has that flavor, but I think without the real sugar, it definitely has that more like diet Mountain Dew flavor. Sweetened with Splenda and all that. But it did taste like Mountain Dew. It doesn't taste especially alcoholic. I feel like you can smell the alcohol, but not taste it nearly as much. Also, I'm holding the wine glass probably wrong. I'm using a wine glass because it's alcohol. It's the theme. Thought I'd just, screw the subtle undertones. Might just like take a sip out of the can to see how that hits me. I don't know. It tastes like, yeah, it's got the Mountain Dew flavor, but a little like bland. Like you're tasting like a diet Mountain Dew. It's definitely not as, doesn't feel as like the carbonation isn't hitting me very hard, so the carbonation doesn't really come through, but that's what I would kind of expect from this, honestly. Basically what I would expect it to be like, you know, a seltzer, you change a soda into a seltzer, and that's just kind of what happens. Okay, I'm not trying to get drunk here, but I'm trying to, like, understand how I feel about that. It's, yeah, I mean, it's fine. If you like Mountain Dew and you like alcohol, then sure, that's like an original flavor Mountain Dew. But keep in mind, it's, you know, sweetened without sugar. So you're going to be like, oh, it tastes a little, like, off. It's because it's no sugar. But the alcohol really doesn't come through, which maybe makes it kind of a dangerous drink in certain circles. I remember back in the day, that was kind of a problem they had, and they're probably having it again, is just the issue of, like, alcoholic beverages that appeal to children. This is the black cherry version. I don't know that it's supposed to be like Code Red. Code Red is cherry, but I don't know that I would say black cherry and cherry are like the same sort of flavor profile. Black cherry is a little more, how would you describe that? It's a little bolder. It's a little edgier. I don't know. How do you describe, like a cherry is very sweet and kind of candy if you have like a cherry flavor, but like a black cherry is definitely more leaning into being more of a fruit, almost like a nectarine in a way. I feel like comparable to like a nectarine, if you've ever had a nectarine. I don't know if that's going to mean anything to anybody. If you haven't had a black cherry, then what is the odds you've had a nectarine? I don't know. But anyways, I don't know if it's supposed to taste like Code Red. I expect it to be kind of have a bit more of a bolder sort of less candy, more nectarine. I don't know how to describe this, man. Ugh, okay. Ooh, shit. Okay, as you can see, it's kind of pink. I mean, it looks like orange on this camera, but it's like pink. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, that just does kind of hit me like a Code Red, sure. Yeah, that hits like a Code Red. I think I actually like that one better. Better than just the original flavor. I think the flavor actually does a better job of getting there, of like emulating that flavor. I think in terms of alcohol content, it's all going to be kind of the same. You don't really taste the alcohol. It's 5%. All right, the next one I'm going to do is watermelon. I don't really know why they have a watermelon flavor one. That's, you know, they could have really put the LiveWire one in with the variety pack. I don't know why they waited for a special new release for LiveWire, and if they're going to just throw a watermelon flavor in here. I suppose maybe they're just trying to match other seltzers that, you know, watermelon's pretty common. They could have done a mango. Mango's like the most common seltzer flavor, I feel like. People love their mangoes. So watermelon. There's no Mountain Dew flavor that has ever been like... No, they do have like a Major Melon one now, don't they? I don't know if they're still doing that one. But they had Major Melon, which maybe this is supposed to be kind of like... My kind of expectation from the taste... I was going to say something. I smelled it. I was going to say something, and I'm like... I'm going to say the same thing after I taste it. So I'm like, let me just experience that. Okay. My thing about watermelon flavored things is that they never taste like watermelon. Do you know what watermelon tastes like? Watermelon tastes like water, because it's mostly water and barely anything else. Like you're just biting into like a dissolvable sponge. I don't know how else to describe a watermelon. It's just water. It like barely, like to me, watermelon tastes like nothing. But then you have all these things that are like watermelon flavored, and they're like, and it just like it's not what watermelon tastes like, dude. It's like that candy version of watermelon flavored things. You know, like a watermelon like Now and Later, or like a Laffy Taffy, or like the watermelon Skittles. They probably have like a Skittle Maybe in the wild berry, the purple Skittles, they probably have like a watermelon one. But it's like that candy watermelon flavor that like isn't actually what a watermelon tastes like. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm fine with. I don't really know what to say about this one. Because it doesn't come across to me as like a Mountain Dew. It comes across to me as like a sort of tasty like watermelon flavored drink. It's nice. It's not bad. I don't know if I should introduce like a rating system to this. I thought about it. I'm like, I'm reviewing stuff, but I don't know if I'm like actually reviewing stuff without like a rating system. I'm just being like, hey, that was good. I haven't said anything's bad yet. But I did buy some Mountain Dew, like, Fruit Quakes the other day. I saw them at Walmart. They're kind of, like, they've been out forever. So those have probably been sitting on the shelf for, like, a good long while. Not fond of those. So if I actually did a review of those, I would have been like, yeah, that's not good. No, I don't recommend those. I feel like some people would like them, but so far, out of the things I've reviewed, I haven't had anything that I've been, like, bad about. So it almost maybe sounds like it's kind of pointless for me to review something if I'm just going to take a drink and be like, oh, that's good. But, that's not really what I'm doing. I am trying to see if I don't like it. I don't expect to not like these because they're, like, Mountain Dew flavored. It can't really go wrong. Mountain Dew rarely goes wrong. Well, I guess I just talked about how Fruit Quake went wrong. Okay, I already opened this one, but let me show you. This is Baja Blast. As you can see, Baja Blast. I don't know why they threw this one on there. They didn't throw, like, a Voltage in here. They didn't throw LiveWire. They didn't throw, I don't know, what other flavors does Mountain Dew have? Pitch Black. Pitch Black would have been a good one on here. Pitch Black's one of my favorites. I don't think I really showed the color of the watermelon one, but it's basically, what you expect. But that's Baja Blast. That is the color like Baja Blast is. Baja Blast is typically known for only really being available at Taco Bell. Very much like the, what's it called, Sweet Lightning flavor that you can get at KFC exclusively. I almost called it Crying Lightning, which is a song by the Arctic Monkeys, and I'm like, that's not it. I think it's called Sweet Lightning, which is it's pretty good. I forget the flavor. It's like, no, I forget the flavor. Let me try this. Yeah, that's Baja Blast. I'll give you that. I like Baja Blast, actually. It's got a very refreshing flavor to it. It's very tropical. It reminds me, when I drink it, when I sip on it, it reminds me of water parks for some reason. I don't know why. Every time I take a sip of a Baja Blast, I'm like, this is giving me like a water park vibe. I get flashes of water slides and tide pools, wave pools. I don't know why, but that's where it puts me, man. I will say, whenever I go to Taco Bell, like, the Baja Blast is always super watered down. Like, you never get, like, the good quality Baja Blast, which is why I feel like they should just sell it in stores. Mountain Dew is kind of bad about that, where they will, like, discontinue flavors and then bring them back. Like, right now, you can't get Game Fuel. Obviously, Game Fuel's been out of circulation for a while. I can't even remember the last time they brought Game Fuel back. Pitch Black, they kind of discontinue pretty often. That's currently you can get it. But keep in mind, I think that's going away soon. So if you want to get your Pitch Black, make sure you get it now. I'm sure some of the other flavors that have been floating around, Quake, if you liked that flavor, probably is going to disappear because it's, very much a Christmassy sort of vibe. Yeah, I don't know. All of that stuff. Major Melon's been around for a while. There was also the Thrashed app. They had like an apple flavor. I don't know if they're still doing that one. Mountain Dew's hard to keep up with, man. They throw out new flavors constantly. But I will say, usually, my point is, my experience with Baja Blast is usually pretty bad because if you go to Taco Bell, like you get it from the freaking thing, it's always watered down. It's always like gross. By the time you do, like, it's never like the best quality. It's always like, oh, it's like the, it's been, you've got 1,000 people that came through, got a Baja Blast, and now it's just like running on empty, Not good. So, I like getting canned Baja Blast. It's quite nice. I will say the alcohol is definitely hitting. Definitely can feel it just from a couple sips of these. I'm not going to say I'm like wasted or drunk. I tend to get more talkative with alcohol. That's kind of the way that I react to alcohol. Drink responsibly. These are like the kind of things that like are really easy to drink. Keep them away from kids, man. It's dangerous. They used to get in trouble. I started talking about this, and I forgot to continue talking about it. But it was like a problem where they were like worried that the companies that putting out like alcohol products were like trying to advertise them to kids because they started to get way more appealing. Like this is exactly the type of thing that like teenagers would look at and be like, oh, really excited about, Whereas, would you say this like appeals to adults? I think adults in their 20s, probably. But like, it's definitely the type of thing that's like, oh, way more kids are gonna be like, oh man, I'd love to try that hard Mountain Dew, But it's like that's where we can talk about Four Loko. Can we talk about Four Loko? Four Loko used to put caffeine as well as alcohol in their drinks. And the problem was, like, kids were drinking them. It was very popular with kids. And, or teenagers, I should say. And they were putting people in hospitals because, like, they could just drink a shit ton of it. And they would get wasted. But then they'd also be wired because of the caffeine. It was just incredibly dangerous. So they had to, like, I think they had a lawsuit where they had to remove the caffeine from Four Loko. So you can still buy Four Lokos now. But they're entirely different from how they used to be when I was a teenager. And I remember, because I was a teenager, that that was like the go-to thing, because it was like this fruity, like, sugary beverage that was also, like an energy drink, which energy drinks were really popular at the time. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, but my point is, like, stuff like this feels like it's leaning to that territory of, like, being kind of dangerous, because it feels like you could make an argument that this is, marketing towards a younger demographic, which can be dangerous, and then they're also just really easy to drink. You can't really taste the alcohol, and stuff like this is dangerous when you can't taste the alcohol. Not that I'm trying to say something either way, but... Okay, last but not least, I've already kind of shown this to the camera already, but this is Mountain Dew LiveWire. Hard Mountain Dew, 5%. This is a enormous can. It's freaking huge. But this is new. So this one just came out, and it's not included in the variety packs. I looked for like a small box kind of just of a set of these smaller cans just by themselves. They didn't have it. They just had the big, thick pint can. So we're going to give this a go. As you could probably anticipate, it's orange. Can you believe it? No way. LiveWire used to be my favorite. I think I liked Voltage for a while, and then I stopped really liking Voltage. Actually, I don't know. Because I remember they introduced Voltage with this like Democracy thing that they did, where they gave out like 3 flavors of Mountain Dew, and you would try them and then vote on them. Voltage was not my favorite of those. I think they had like a light blue one, which I liked. I don't remember what it was called. And I think the red one was also really good. I think that one was like dragon fruit flavored, which was great. And then they gave Voltage, which I didn't like Voltage because it was the one that tasted the most like really sugary, like candy, like a Jolly Rancher, like a blue raspberry Jolly Rancher, So it was, Voltage, I guess it grew on me because, it's addictive when you have something that's like sugary and nice. I don't know. It's just, as a kid, you're like, oh, yeah, I could drink this. It gets me wired. But LiveWire was always kind of my go-to, I think, out of all of them. I didn't even really like Code Red. I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's had the same experience as me, but I used to like hate Code Red. And then everybody thought, every time I would say it, people looked at me like I was insane. Like, what are you talking about? Code Red's the best. And I'm like, I just don't really like it. I'm just not a big Code Red fan. I always liked LiveWire. So let me just try this. It smells like LiveWire, which makes sense. LiveWire's kind of got like a tangerine scent, you know, like a clementine, less clementine, more tangerine. I think the thing about these, and I think all of these have kind of had the same effect, is that the flavor of it is like, oh yeah, it's like there's the LiveWire, it's like it's coming, and then it never really like hits, and then it just kind of like dissipates. You know, the flavor is just like it's there, it's like it's nearly there, and then it's just like it's gone. And you're like, oh, it's kind of a little unsatisfying, you know, because it's like you can taste that it is LiveWire, but it's like not exactly the same, and it doesn't like get exactly where it just is like weird. I don't know. Okay, if you linger on it a while, it does a better job. I think bigger sips also work. But yeah, I mean, still, you have that like aftertaste that's definitely like, that's not sugar. I can tell. I know what sugar tastes like. That's like Splenda or something. But it's kind of the same thing, yeah. It's like LiveWire. Yeah, I mean, if you like LiveWire, it's basically the same as the other four. If you had a bad experience, if you tried the Mountain Dew ones, like the regular variety pack, and you're like, I don't like the lack of sugar. I don't like the Splenda, the like fake sweetener that they use. You're gonna find this is the same thing. If you know, it's the same thing, but this is the LiveWire version. So, like, you're gonna have the same experience. But if you did like the hard Mountain Dews, it's the same thing, but LiveWire. If you like LiveWire, there it is. You can get it. I will say, personally, I'm not super crazy about these. I know this variety pack has been out for a while, but it's definitely not really my go-to, I think, just because I'm not so keen on that sort of like sweetener flavor. It just, I don't like it so much, you know. I'd much prefer drinking like a White Claw or something where at least like it tastes like, you know, it tastes like what I expect it to want, like what I want it to taste. I don't know how to describe this. It's like carbonated water with a light flavoring. I'm like, that's what it tastes like. You know, I don't taste like that extra sweeteners or anything. It's like as sweet as it's supposed to be. There's nothing in there that, like, the sweeteners feel very, like, inauthentic to me, which is a weird thing to say about, like, a soft drink, I guess, because, like, the entire flavor of it is an authentic, like, manufactured product. It's not, like, a natural spring water or something. What am I talking about? I'm losing my mind, man. The alcohol's there. I can tell you that. I'm going to test that. I don't go for these. I mean, let me know if you want me to review the, like, Beast. The Monster did I don't think they're really seltzers. I've tried them, the Beast seltzers, whatever you would call those. I can do a review of them separately. But those are, like, different in that they feel very potent, whereas these kind of have that flavor, that sweetener flavor that just doesn't sit right with me. So I'm not crazy about them. You know, I'm not going to, like, buy these over, like, any other sort of alcohol thing. I'm not going to, like, oh, I'm so excited to get more hard Mountain Dew. It's just like, yeah, I'll drink them if that's what we've got. But I'm not reaching for these at the grocery store, you know, in the alcohol section. So I think I've basically made my point. This has been a half-hour recording. I didn't intend it to be that long. Okay. But, yeah, I guess I went on some tangents. But I'm going to end this episode. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my feelings. Let me know if you have any ideas for something you want me to review next. Like I said, I could do the beast ones. I don't know what I'm doing with these. I'm just kind of like just winging it, really. Like whatever I see in the moment. Oh, that could be fun. But yeah. Okay, bye.